Ladies and gentlemen, we are back for temperature check spring 2026.
You're gonna say part
it's been
two.
hot, bro. I was thinking what season we're in. It's been a little hot, but I'm Steven. This is Miguel. Once again, we are Death Valley Driver. I don't know when I'll stop doing like the Vince impression when I do these intros. But,
Just stop.
Okay, got it. Here we are once again covering the more or less calendar year of 5, maybe 6 individuals in WWE and AEW. This is everybody covering from any new party joining WWE or AEW from March to May of 2025 up until now, covering everything they've done until this point. Miguel, what's going on, man? Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready. This will be a funny one to do because some of the names on here. All right, name on here.
One particular name,
Yes.
maybe in our thumbnail, we'll see. We haven't figured that out yet. We're recording this Saturday, May 2nd. So if we're proven wrong instantly, like Penta made us look stupid, then it is what it is. But yeah, we're just gonna dig in here and see what we got with these guys. And I think we both decided to start off with an AEW talent, or should I say talents. One of the teams have taken AEW mostly by storm over the last 8-7 months, and that is JetSpeed. The Jet Kevin Knight, current TNT champion, and Speedball Mike Bailey. So quickly just go over their careers prior to AEW. Kevin Knight, he spent the majority of his time in New Japan Pro Wrestling and sort the junior heavyweight like tag division with Kushida and the Intergalactic Jet Setters. I think they won the belts twice. Speedball, he was on the indies. He's been on the indies for almost 2 decades now, and he's been doing his thing. He's known for his like incredible work and his stiff kicks. A lot of his DPW matches I'm quite fond of, and his team with Jake Something was awesome. He had a good TNA run. He was X Division champion at least once, and he had some great matches there too. And they joined AEW around the same time. They both debut in March as singles competitors coming off. They were both kind of thrust right into AEW rather quickly. Kevin Knight was put in the Owen Hart tournament after Jay White was injured, who was still injured this time recording. And he faced Will Ospreay at Dynasty in the first round of the Owen Hart tournament in a really fun match. Speedball in that same show was put in an international championship triple threat match of Kenny Omega and Ricochet, which was awesome. I think the match at the show. So right off the bat, both were just pretty prominently featured on TV. Within a month of their debut, they're both on pay-per-view. Speedball a month later would face Okada in an awesome match that sort of started that like Okada renaissance in AEW. He was doing his thing for a bit. Well, I wouldn't say that. That's I wouldn't say that. But that felt like the first. I don't know if you remember. Yeah, that felt like the first match that Okada felt like. After that match, he was on like a really underrated run for the next like 6 months. He's sort of back to his old state now, but it's okay. We like Kazu here. So shortly after, or around the same time, I don't really remember, but JetSpeed was formed. Kevin Knight and Speedball, the JetSpeed, great. I love a cool tag team name. I love like a mesh. For pretty much all summer going into the fall, like they were on TV all the time and just kept being prominently featured more and more. Like, they really wouldn't miss, if they're not on Dynamite, they're on Collision. They're not on Collision, they're on Dynamite. Pre-shows and at pay-per-views. They faced the Bucks in a really underrated tag match. I don't think anybody talks about too much, but a lot of great matches on Dynamite. Every year, every month. They're put with like 6-mans and 8-mans with Kenny and Hangman against Death Riders, Don Callis family. I think they both had matches with Mox that are both very good. And, they didn't exactly have a lot to chew on in the summer and the fall. They had 2 title shots during that time for the tag belts. At All In, they faced Lashley and Benjamin and Christian Cage and Nick Wayne. I gotta assume it's Nick Wayne. I didn't look this up, but I'm like,
and the other one wasn't it FTR at WrestleDream? I don't remember what.
Yes, yeah, that was the pre-show match. That was but that wasn't for the title. That was for the title. They, I think Brodito was champions at that time, but they had that match. They had that match that went from the pre-show into the main show.
Oh yeah, I think that makes sense.
Brodito won the belts in that triple. I think another triple threat tag match. I don't remember. Everything is all combined or whatever. But either way, that JetSpeed, more or less, was just been featured on TV. Didn't really have any significant like story beats, but always featured, always with top guys as well, getting more exposure, and just good hands to have there. It's always good to have these guys. And now the C2, the Continental Classic, that rolls around after Full Gear in November. Both men in the C2 in the Gold League. Speedball finishes up with 6 points. He ends up beating Kyle Fletcher, the Protostar, and Kevin Knight. Which might be the match of the tournament. I don't know. Yeah, it might be the match of the tournament. Knight had 7 points. He beat Darby Allin. Darby's only match in the tournament, unfortunately. He beat Okada in a pretty big surprise. Okada's only been pinned by like 3 or 4 guys in the company, I think, at this point. And he had a draw of Pac in the last night of the tournament. So both had good showings. Both had pretty big wins. It's cool because they it pretty much established right then and there that Kevin Knight, in particular, was going to be somebody they're going to really focus on in 2026. And, a lot of charisma. His mic skills are pretty good. And Speedball, also somebody we're going to forget and cast aside. Arguably like one of the top 5 best like TV workers in the company. So early on in 2026, Powerhouse Hobbs, he decides he needs to go to greener pastures and leave AEW. And they have to drop the trios belts, the ops. So they gave them real quickly to Hangman Page and JetSpeed, Jet Set Rodeo. And they won the belts in a surprise. And they're the trios champions. And that was Kevin Knight and Kevin Knight and Speedball's first belt in the company. They lost it. They kind of established, that was the first team to establish that these belts don't have to be like 7-month title reigns anymore. Like these can change hands all the time.
I think recently it's been like it's just hot potato recently as of late.
Yeah, they've had like 3 or 4 title defenses, title changes this year, and JetSpeed would win it twice with 2 different people. So they lost to the Don Callis family, and then they beat the Don Callis family, trading in Hangman Page for Mystico.
And then they dropped it to who? The Dogs?
The Dogs, who they dropped it in like a day. I hope a year from now, man, we don't have to do one of these on David Finlay and
oh my God,
be negative.
Shit's gonna suck. I really hope.
It's not looking great.
Yeah, Tony Khan, please.
So lock in. This guy's awesome. Best Bullet Club leader. Well, better than some other Irishmen. Anyway,
yeah, we're better than Devitt. Come on.
Whoa, I don't want to say any names. I don't want to say any. So, JetSpeed, Trios champs, still on TV all the time. Kevin Knight is getting more and more exposure where you think like, okay, this guy can seriously be a this guy maybe be a legit like world title like champion, like world championship material. And one of those matches with Kyle Fletcher in the C2, it kind of had that feeling like, oh, these guys can maybe duke it out in this company's future for the next like 10 years. But yeah, both Kevin Knight and Speedball are both being by MJF. Kevin Knight had a world title match against MJF. He lost. Speedball had an eliminator. She lost. So it all culminates, at least for now, with Kevin Knight winning the TNT Championship in a casino gauntlet at Dynasty. And since then, he's gotten big wins over Claudio. He beat MJF in the title defense, clean as a whistle. And he's got a world title shot coming up at the time of recording, which it might have happened already, probably did. And I'm sure that was awesome too, because they had an awesome match in the C2. And Speedball, he's going to be, obviously, he's always going to have a role in AEW. And with all of like Kevin Knight's ascension, it's pretty much a foregone conclusion that eventually one of them is going to turn heel. And so anytime you see Kevin Knight going up, you know that Speedball is going to be involved in whatever his next step's going to be. But yeah, that's pretty much their last year or so in the dub. Now, Miguel, any thoughts? What are you thinking about JetSpeed's last year in AEW?
I felt like I did not expect them to be together, and I think everyone when they first debuted, I'm pretty sure all of us were probably thinking, okay, Speedball's probably going to be the star out of the. I mean, both are incredibly talented, but I don't know if you felt it, but I was like, okay, Speedball's probably going to be the one that has most of the showing. But how the tables have turned, because Kevin Knight's like the biggest star right now, and they pushed him, and like they strike when the iron was hot, because he won the TNT title. I really hope that Speedball doesn't get pushed aside, because Speedball is great too, an incredible TV worker, and it's just crazy how much of a star Kevin Knight is. Like if he pins Darby, I wouldn't be mad, you know?
Amen. I mean, he's taken AEW he's taken it so naturally. He just feels like a star. He feels like somebody that, you know, I can see like younger fans really liking. Same thing with Speedball. They're just naturally likable guys. You know, I kind of have a hard time seeing when they're going to turn heel. You know, they seem like nice guys. And Kevin Knight, unfortunately, a lot of junior heavyweight tag stuff, I mostly kind of just skip, or I don't really watch it full attention. I just haven't really been too interested in the juniors in quite some time. But it's been great to see him in AEW and just keeps winning titles and being put in these big spots, and Speedball keeps having these amazing matches as well. It's weird that they feel like they should have won the tag belts at one point this year.
Yeah.
You know, I would say for me personally, I would put JetSpeed at very hot. You know, these temperature ratings are just so whatever, but they're more or less they're in a very good place right now. I'd be pretty surprised and disappointed if we came a year from now and they're not doing shit, and Kevin Knight's still kind of doing the same thing. Speedball's just another worker on TV. But I feel like I can safely say we're in a good place with them. What do you think?
Both hot, or like how would you
JetSpeed
do it separately?
The Jet Kevin Knight, he might be like really hot. Like might be like lava hot right now, and Speedball is just hot in general. So there's like a mixture. There's like a medium there. But Speedball, regardless, he's still like over with the crowd. The crowd's always excited to see him. He has good matches. Everybody knows he's a good worker. So he's still hot and he's still relevant to TV. But the Jet is too fly. Too fly. He's got that new ring gear. He uses money his 100K on ethical consumption. But yeah. So I would say they're definitely hot for sure, combined.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, so we now turn the page to we're doing Rusev, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now,
It's such a funny.
his existence is rather humorous. I just want to put this out right now. I love Rusev more than most people probably should. Like he's just so funny in and out of the ring. His existence or whatever. Great Total Divas character. Great politician. Great tweeter, at least at one point. But, and I just love it. I think his in-ring work is super underrated compared to, I don't know, like, I think he's just almost as good as, like, a Sheamus. And more, Sheamus is a better, like, overall outing, but Rusev, when he's on it, But we'll just go over his AEW career really shortly. Very interesting career where I feel like all of his in-ring stuff and his promos and his vignettes were very kind of godly, even though I think he at one point tried to kill God in storyline with his Redeemer gimmick, but he had great matches his entire run with like Darby, and he had that amazing squash match with Fuego, and the Hobbs match is magical, and he had a very good in-ring career in AEW. The promos where he's mad at God and he's mad at himself and what he has to do. I was captivated by those. This man is something else. Having said that, apparently some of his behind the scenes antics weren't exactly as compelling.
Yeah. I don't know, but it's kind of odd that Rusev had, or Miro at that time, I think he only wrestled like 30 something matches in AEW altogether, and he has like a high winning record.
As far as I know, he's only been pinned by Sammy and Bryan. I could be wrong.
Which the Bryan match is his longest match.
Yeah, that match isn't that great.
Yeah.
Which is weird, but that's like Bryan's first miss in AEW. It is weird. It is, but he's not that kind of guy that has to go out and have like 20-minute matches. He can have like a sick 10, 15-minute TV match.
I think his average, I think out of all his matches, the average has to be like 6 minutes or so, right? Like, especially during Collision, where like he would just do squashes, because I don't know what was going on with Punker, but he was booking squash matches every single week.
Hey, that's a godly run though. If you go on Twitter, it's a godly run. Apparently Miro had a lot of backstage drama coming with him in AEW. There's been reports he just refused to lose, and they just want to use him because what's the point of losing? There was that rumor. I don't want to perpetuate anything, but there was that rumor they want to lose to like Hangman. Like, come on, bro. Like, what are you doing?
I have no idea. Lost to Danielson, man.
Well, he's a WWE guy, clearly. That's a little different. He did lose to Sammy. So you got to give him some credit there. Ultimately, at this point, I kind of wish he didn't. But he should have lost to Eddie. But here we are. But Rusev or Miro, he went a full year. So December 2023, he was just not on AEW TV at all. Sometime in 2024, in the fall, he requested his release. Got it in February, and the Raw after Mania 41, he returned to TV.
Wait. Hold on, before we say that, I didn't want to cut you off, but I thought you were gonna mention it. The funniest thing ever was when they did that Andrade match in December.
Oh yeah, I was there for that. Yeah,
and we were like, "Who's gonna lose this?"
Yeah, that was his last AEW match. Yeah, but he wanted Andrade. I think he wanted Andrade to fuck his wife, or he was mad at Andrade. I don't remember. I was there. It was very strange. It was a very strange night. But Rusev returns to WWE, beat up Alpha Academy on Raw, and pretty quickly gets into a feud with Sheamus, his good friend, his longtime friend, Total Divas Enjoyers. They have they mostly have this feud going through all summer. Sheamus loses the first match. Sheamus beats Rusev the second match. Rusev kicks out 3.1. What a true fucking friend he is. Like, what an asshole. And then they had a pay-per-view, I think at Paris. They had
the Clash, I think.
Yeah, they had a Stony Brook match. I don't know if you've seen any of these. I know you're a big WWE fan, but you can't watch everything, bro. And these matches are really good. They have good chemistry. Just Sheamus is awesome. I love Rusev. And at that point, I was feeling, like, okay, they're using Rusev too.
I believe he was even supposed to be in the World Heavyweight Championship picture. I could be wrong on that.
The face Jay or something.
Yeah, or but Gunther. I thought it was strange because I think my thought process was, okay, they're having Rusev be a potential candidate to face Jay, and then it's like, okay, what happened to that? It's probably because he wasn't over.
No.
Yeah.
He was kind of just, there. His gimmick was kind of just there for a bit. He didn't want to go back to Rusev Day, I feel like, so he was just guy. But so after the Sheamus feud, he was on TV, not really doing anything of substance. He was sort of in the Dom vortex for a bit, so he fucked around with Dom and Penta for most of fall. He was in the Cena tournament, and I believe he beat Priest, and I think he lost to Jay. I don't know if he had any other matches in that tournament. And so then he kind of just wasn't on TV in general at all. He was mostly on Main Event. And he got put into the Royal Rumble match. And he lasted about 30 seconds. Or Obafemi bitches him out. Crazy style. And then they had a match on Raw where Obafemi bitched him out. Crazy style. Which is fine because, in my
Oba's
opinion,
awesome.
Yeah. Half a dozen people should have Oba take a bump. That's my opinion. But it is crazy to see that with Rusev. So I'm just I'm looking at this guy. I'm like, bro, are they gonna release him? What the fuck? What the fuck are they doing with Rusev? And somehow, some way, he gets onto WrestleMania 42. He won a bullshit qualifying match, a Main Event. That wasn't a qualifying match at the time, I feel like. Rusev makes it to Mania. He seems very happy they made it to Mania. To be put in this multi-man ladder match. He's faced Cena at this show before, by the way, but he was ecstatic that he made Mania. This is his first year in a company. You've been on at least 4 of them, maybe 5. Come on, man. You drove a tank to this damn show. And did stuff inside that tank, allegedly. He makes it to Mania. He's in a few big spots in that ladder match. The ladder match I really like. And he loses. He's not... He jumps in the air for Javon Cutter. It just felt like giving him a push. And so, whatever. Next night on Raw, he attacks Penta. And it looks like, okay. They're going to keep pushing. They're going to keep pushing Rusev. They're going to keep him on TV, put him in his IC title scene. Maybe he wins the belt. Whatever. I'm down for it. And then Penta quickly beats him on the next Raw in a really average match. It's the most match you've ever seen. But he did get his heat back after. Penta did beat him with a roll up. And it seems firmly in the IC title scene still with Ethan Page or Javon Evans. He does seem the least likely to walk out of a situation with that belt, but who's to say? But yeah, that is Rusev's calendar year with the World Wrestling Federation. So we go. Thoughts on the Bulgarian Brute.
I'm surprised that he did not get released.
I'm happy he did it. I don't think AEW would take him back, bro.
We gotta make amends.
He's gonna like not want to lose to like
Who the fuck is
fucking
this
Kenny
speedball
Omega.
kid?
No way. No shot. No shot. No shot. He's no way.
You know the MVP hated speedball. Just wait till Miro get there.
Yeah. Just shake his fucking head. But yeah, he very interesting guy. I would give him personal temperature check.
You go in like
I would give him like
in the middle or
yeah,
like just below.
lukewarm, maybe leading towards a little cold, but lukewarm because he's at the very least he's on TV, and we have like temper expectations of some of these guys, like Megan Bain. Like you know, she could have won the world belt in that time period, right? Any time from the last year, and they didn't. Like she's a world champion contender, and she should be treated one at least. But Rusev, you know, he's in his 40s. You know, he's not going to be a real serious contender for the world title anytime soon, especially how stacked and who the champion is on the brand he's on, but how stacked the top guys are. So it's just not going to happen. So, you know, for somebody that's just, hey, I'm a mid-carder that can have some good matches sometimes, that can fill TV time, you know, whatever. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. I wish they could do a little more with him, but whatever. Like lukewarm. It could be better. It could be worse.
Yeah, I was gonna go middle, but it seems like he's doing something at least. It's not like he's like in catering.
If he didn't make it to Mania and he wasn't like on the last two Raws, then we would have a different conversation.
Yeah,
Sure. But he managed to salvage it, so good for Rusev. Let's do Thekla. Let's do Thekla. We're live, pal. So I have my opinion. We have very different opinions on Thekla, but I'm gonna let you talk here and talk about her Stardom run, which I'm mostly unfamiliar with, and you know, talk more about her last AEW calendar year, and then we can talk about her more. So please, let's hear it, brother.
yeah. So I'm not gonna go in too depth about it. I'm gonna make this as quick as possible. But during this time, I don't think Thekla was that bad. Like I felt like her whole thing was going to work better under a U.S. promotion. So once she left, I was like, okay, I figured, you know, it'll probably work out. I didn't expect her to, you know, have the year that she has had. But let's talk about Stardom. So she was there longer than Megan, so a little more to talk about her. So she joined the promotion around the same time as Mirai in 2021, I think. So she teamed up with Julia, which she led with DDM, and she was there. DDM Thekla is way different from Oedo Tai Thekla.
Okay,
so
fair enough.
This Thekla is not that bad. So she didn't really accomplish much. She did win the SWA championship by defeating Mina when it was vacated.
That belt's no longer. That was like an undisputed type belt.
Yeah.
Like,
so
okay,
they had a mini rivalry, and she played a role in tag matches. She needed to do what she needed to do, but most of the time she was eating the pin. But once TDM disbanded, she moved on to Oedo Tai, or Hate now it is. And I feel like when she got to Oedo Tai, I feel like that's when the criticisms towards Thekla started happening. So her in-ring work was completely different. It took a back seat. It was more slower. I wouldn't say it's a heel style because like she was also a heel in DDM. I don't know what happened to make her work worse. I don't know why. But I made jokes plenty of times. I was like, with Hate around this time, I was like, sports entertainment nonsense in my Stardom. Like, what is this shit?
Come on.
To like shenanigans and stuff like that. It just wasn't my thing. So she did this whole idol killer thing, and it sucked.
That sounds beast though. It sounds beast on paper.
Yeah, but it just didn't execute well. So she did challenge Natsuko for the white belt, and the match itself, It could have been better.
Oh,
So she had a rivalry with Taro Okada, who's the president of Stardom, and she ended up getting
yes.
fired. And it just got weird because like she got crazy heat from this, and natives hated her. Western fans hated her. Like when she left, everybody was like, "Thank you, bro." So I don't know if native fans are like very like they took it so seriously because like I don't know if you remember this, but when Sari was there and she was like shitting
Mhm.
on like Stardom, like they were
Yeah,
treating
yeah,
her like she was Satan.
yeah.
So I
Go.
don't know if like they were taking it so serious with Thekla. I'm pretty sure they were taking it so serious with Thekla, but she left. Everybody was happy, and then she shows up to AEW, and you know she's a top act. I think it was most of I think it was like booking's fault at this, but also at the same time, what made why I'm not that high on Tekla compared to you is I'm not really the biggest fan of like the over the topness.
Okay.
So I don't know how you view it, but I'm just not really a big fan of like heels that are very over the top.
Fair enough. Fair enough. And she is very over the top for sure. All I can say to you is, you know,
I
you
know
can
it's coming.
listen.
I know it's coming.
You can you can listen to any, you know, as in wrestling pundit, or you can listen to any wrestling historian or whoever the fuck what Bobby Eaton's got to say. All I can tell you in wrestling, all that matters is the entrance and the finisher, and Tekla's got them both.
She has a cool
Tekla's got
entrance.
them. Yeah, she took the AEW very quickly, right? And she feuded Jamie for like 6 months. She was in the Casino Gauntlet All In, and Triangle of Madness was shortly after. Uh, the Jamie feud bled into an all out match for the 4-way that Statlander won the belt. Jamie and Tekla kind of cancel each other out in that match. And she was in that blood and guts match. And come on, man. Come on. You're going to say that she wasn't fucking. The aura in blood and guts that she was producing was off the chains. Tekla eventually beat Statlander for the belt. I remember you not being very happy. I saw it coming a mile away. I just, you know,
Chris Statlander's booking. It didn't help that Chris Statlander's booking was horrible.
yeah. Tekla won the world belt in like February, March. She beat Statlander again, 2-1. Yeah, we take those. Beat Mina, beat Jamie recently, and she's been doing her thing, man. She's been cutting her promos. You know, she's talking like a character from Blood In, Blood Out. She's having her matches. Ethical, like 4.25. You know, she's been doing her thing. She's been doing her thing. But okay, so try to frame this. Regardless of how you feel that Tekla as a performer. How would you describe how she's been booked and portrayed and presented in this last calendar year of AEW?
I just didn't expect her to get this like I knew she would do better, but I thought she would like maybe win the TBS title or something. But like for her to be with the top woman like Statlander, Jamie, clearly he gave her a chance, and to you showed out, and just completely unexpected. I think majority
To me,
yeah to you.
to me and the fans,
And the fans, and the Thekla fans,
and the Death Valley Driver fans. But
yeah, but she definitely overachieved. I did not expect her to have this run. So
sure.
I gotta give props where it's due, and she's clearly. If I was gonna give a temperature check, she's definitely her temperature check is definitely up. I will say.
Yeah, I definitely give her like molten hot. Like
Yeah.
she's taking a women's division, but fairly does not have its two biggest stars. and unfairly doesn't have another one of its biggest stars who's currently at fucking Ring of Honor for the last 8 years, who's gonna beat Bruno's other record at one point.
And they need a heel. Like, they don't have like a credible heel in that women's division, so it's like you got to use Thekla, you know.
Yeah. She can promo. She can promo, not, and her promos are everyone's favorite thing. But I think generally most people do like how she talks, and the words that she says, her accent. But her delivery, whatever. It's not for everybody. It's for me though. It's for me. But she's come across, I think, so well with the majority of the audience. She's had, the thing is, listen, okay, I get it. There's better workers than her. I don't think she's had any bad matches. Like, at worst, she's had like some like average, like whatever that happened, or and her best matches are just pretty great, but nothing you're gonna remember end of the year, right? Like, she's not gonna be in too many end of the year lists. But overall, just in general, she's been a really like solid champion in the absence of Tony and Monet. And let me ask you this before we go on to our next temperature check. All In, it's 3 months away. Jesus, 3 months away. Does Thekla walk into Wembley as women's champion?
Okay, who comes back first, Tony or Mercedes?
Apparently, Tony's not coming back at all this year. Apparently, Tony's just not. Yeah, but Monet will be. I don't know where she is. She's been wrestling, obviously, but she hasn't back yet.
Because last temperature check, I was talking about Megan should be world champion to face Monet.
Yes,
but I feel like Mercedes is going to be a face around when she comes back. But the question is, do they do Thekla versus Monet?
It's very likely. It's very likely. So that's why I'm at. I think it's an interesting question. If it's gonna be, because I feel like Monet is for sure gonna be in the women's title match, just like I feel like Ospreay is gonna be in the men's title match. And I just wonder if Thekla, this momentum is gonna carry all the way until All In, until Wembley Stadium,
like 3
biggest show
months.
of the year.
3 months is kind of a lot, so I don't know.
It's a little early to say.
Yeah, and also like with the division, it's like she's basically like beating everybody. So like, what do you do with the 3 months?
I don't know. We're doing Triangle of Madness trios matches.
For 3 months. Let's go.
Let's go. Collision. But yeah. I'd put her in pretty high regard. Thekla, we both here at DeathValleyDriver love you so much, and we hope you have an Athena like Reign.
Can we talk about her stablemate, her former stablemate?
Oh yeah, I forgot to talk about her. Thekla, yeah, my bad. Thank you for reminding me. Yeah, Thekla mogs all over Julia. What's Julia got going on that Thekla? Like, come on, Thekla, more aura than her, better matches than her. NXT doesn't count. More aura, better matches, more over, better entrance, better stablemates. Respect to Kiana James. No, actually, no. Kiana James is better than Trey. Well, Sky Blue. I don't know. We'll get to that. But regardless, Thekla has proven that she was a superior member of that faction, and yeah, Julia.
I don't know. I don't know if Thekla was better than Shuri, but like, go ahead, man.
Okay, well, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that live on air. Let's just move on. Let's just move on to Mina Shirakawa. Once again, if you could just give a quick little rundown of her stardom career.
Weird booking, I will say. So Mina's interesting to talk about because she debuted pro wrestling very late. So I know that her and Unagi Sayaka did shows at TJPW, but she was basically a rookie in stardom. So she joined the promotion. Tam Nakano left Stars and started Cosmic Angels, and that's where she recruited both Unagi and Mina. And I don't know what people's thoughts on where Mina was, or the faction in general, because you have Tam, who was like this main eventer, established, and here she is recruiting two people who are rookies and who are like green and older. I don't know what the fans were like. I don't know what their thoughts on them, because it's like you have two older talent and they were like pretty much like the future, pretty much because they're rookies.
Right, yeah.
And
She was like 31, I think. I looked it up. She was 31 when she made her debut. Yeah, that's crazy.
Pretty late. And Mina, well, they quickly became a popular act amongst fans in Stardom. So not even the month
in. Clips.
Yes. Fuck.
I'm seeing some clips.
Fucking Joshi fans, man. So
yep.
They quickly won the Artist of Stardom Championship, and she held it for a long time with them, like a lengthy time. And while she was holding that, she did win the Future of Stardom Championship, and it didn't last that long. Like, 2 belts, Mina did not last that long. It only lasted for like 2 weeks, and Unagi just won it in a rematch. And after that, she kind of just floated around doing tag leagues and the Grand Prix or whatever. And I believe she competed for the red belt against Tam, and she lost that one. But I think what made people love Mina was her match against Saya. So I don't know if you ever seen this clip. It was for the white belt. So Saya goes for the Phoenix Splash, and she lands on Mina's face. Have you ever seen that clip?
No, I haven't. The only Mina clips from Stardom that pop up are really just no wrestling. I'll tell you that much. Unfortunately, yeah, I've never seen much of her in ring.
It's usually in a GIF or a
Stardom.
GIF, whatever. But if you search up the Saya Phoenix Splash on Mina, so she lands on her face, and Mina is bleeding, her jaw's broken, and after the match, she did a post match interview. Yeah, she's LeBron James with it. So she had a post match interview, and like you could just feel like the emotions, like she's bawling out while she's bleeding, and like you could just feel the emotion, and I think that's what made fans like her even more. So
that's hard. Hard.
I think you should check it out, because it's like a really good like interview. I'm not gonna say promo.
Yeah.
I'm not a Fedmark. So
I still say promos. That may be a little insecure. But
so she floated around again, and she split away from Unagi to start her own group. And this is where she would just like recruit foreign talents, basically. So she started Club Venus, and the faction wasn't executed well. So I think the most memorable thing that came out of that faction was her and Mariah, their whole dynamic. So after that, she wins the white belt, and the reign was disappointing, to say the least. So I don't think it was under a month. It had to be like barely over a month. She faced Tam, and Tam was the red belt. Tam was holding the red belt, and they did a title versus title match, title for title. And Tam around this time booked like a god, so she wasn't beating Tam. So she lost the title. Tam's a double champion. I think that's like the last major thing that she did. And like overall, Mina's booking, I think when she was in Cosmic Angels, I don't think it was that bad. Like all together, like all of them. But I think once like they did things with her, like as a singles competitor, I think that's where the booking was just very weird, because she would win the belt and she would not hold it that long.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, she during this whole time in Stardom, though, she was kind of putting her foot in the door of AEW. She had made appearances, I think, from like 2024 on, mostly becoming a supporting character in the Mariah and Tony story. she eventually she announced that she left Stardom in the fall. I mean, the winter, end of February. People thought she would be going to the WWE because Mariah's going there. Like, I don't work with my friends, bro. Like, it is what it is. But it is. But so Mina debuts officially in AEW as a full-time member of the roster, and a hilarious debut where she comes out to some bullshit, and Tony Khan, who has been pretty much trained very well in PR on Twitter now, you don't really see him slipping anymore. That night he kind of like, oh fuck that, like, no, this song sucks, we're changing it into and she got her Beast song from like Fast and Furious. Like that Fast and Furious for sure inspired song, like, oh yo yo.
He went
Change
on
the
Twitter.
theme now.
He went on Twitter and he was like, okay, my fault, yeah.
Ruckus changed. I think Mikey Ruckus, AEW theme composer, he shifted the blame immediately. He's like, yeah, that shit was not me, bro. That shit was not me. So, but, Mina, she debuted in a fatal 4-way number one contenders match for the women's belt, the AEW Women's Championship. She won that. Oi, 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 and her theme song played.
Hey, oi, oi,
Rocks. Got a world title shot, Double or Nothing, against Toni Storm. Toni Storm is very, pivotal to Mariah again. Stop. To Mina Shirakawa's AEW run. She loses to Toni. Shortly after, she challenges Monet for the TBS belt. So it goes from the world belt to TBS. A few weeks after that, I think Dynamite 300, she challenges Monet. Monet beats her. And somehow she becomes interim Ring of Honor Women's TV champion when Red Velvet got hurt. And during that time, she challenged Athena for the world title in a really great match. Like, my opinion, the best Mina match I've seen. I'm sure it's better matches in Stardom, but that match is great.
I don't know. I think that match is up there with some of her, like, I think the Athena match is probably the best match that she has had.
That's like an underrated Athena match too. That might be like Athena's best match of 2025. Like, she, I love Athena. No, actually, Monet matches. Right, so yeah, she challenges Athena for the world belt and loses for the Ring of Honor Women's Championship. And she has a title for title match with Monet at Wrestle Dream.
Ah, shit, here we go again.
Yeah, for the interim TV belt, and the craziest act of stat padding I've ever seen since Russell Westbrook. I've seen fucking Monet get another belt that's not even an actual fucking belt. It's an interim belt. I don't know if that counts. Whatever. Okay. And she loses. Mina loses to Monet once again. At this point, she's mostly like she's connected to Toni by the hip. They're both in Blood and Guts together. This is Doc. I have War Games put down. We don't do that shit here. But she was in Blood and Guts with the Faces. She lost. Was she a part of the finish? Was she? I think she was. I think she was part of I think. Doesn't Toni give up because Mina's about to get like killed or something?
Yeah.
That match is amazing. It's been a while, but the Timeless Love Bombs form when the AEW Women's Tag Team Championships are announced. The tournament's set, and this is like Toni's side quest now that she's not going for the women's belt, and she takes Mina with her. Timeless Love Bombs. They have an entrance where Mina is clearly the more experienced choreographed dancer, and Toni's just vibing, which is always very funny. And I assumed, I think you did too, that just the Timeless Love Bombs are going to win the tag belts. The tournament was set for them, and they lost to Babes of Wrath, and that caught me by surprise. But sure, fine. But at that point, she basically just became like Toni's like sidekick, and Marina just like beat the fuck out of her for like a months on end, and Mina's whole purpose was just kind of be, what made Tony angry at Marina. Yeah, she kind of just lost all urgency as a competitor, and any seriousness you could put with her was just kind of gone. And then Tony was gone as well. Tony apparently is going to be gone all year. And with Tony hurt, she did get a shot at Thekla for the. She beat Marina, and I think Marina almost killed her in a match on TV. But she's fine. She's fine. But she faced Marina. She faced Thekla, but she lost another world championship match. And she's been on TV, but she's kind of just been floundering, bro. Like she's kind of there. Her and Hikaru Shida were yelling at each other in Japanese the other night. I don't know. She's just on TV, but nothing of substance, right? So, where are you checking Mrs. Live Show Charisma herself?
I think the beginning, I think it looked, I think she was like strong in a sense because she was involved with Mariah and Tony and for the world title. Like she was in that picture, and she's popular. Weirdos.
Hey man.
Hey man. But I'm surprised that she didn't even touch like the TBS title, like something. But I think your temperature started getting lower. I think it's lower, especially now that Tony's hurt.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, what do you do? Yeah,
it sucks either way too, because if Tony was around, she would just play this like shitty role I hate that they give, especially Japanese women, where they're just treated as like disposable for, as fodder, so that the Australian woman could get revenge. It's funny. It's happened twice now on two different promotions, but that sucks. But also sucks that Tony was, in the case of the other case, that woman will be fine by herself. But Mina, it's tough to see because her whole AEW career, even before joining the company, has been tied to Tony, been tied to Mariah May, and now she's sort of like on her own, trying to find her identity by herself, and it doesn't seem like there's any like real desire to put her in a good position. So I'd say it's pretty low. I'd say cold. I wouldn't go ice cold just because I don't want to sound too controversial, but Mina's in-ring work hasn't exactly light me on fire too. I don't really need to see her push to such extreme lengths to somebody that I don't think is. I've never really been captivated too much by her matches. Like she's had some really good ones. Tony Forbidden Door last year or 2024. Athena, obviously we touched on, but I'm not like a huge fan of her in-ring work. Maybe she hasn't showed. I haven't seen enough of it, but So I'd say cold. It'd be colder if she was like an amazing wrestler, but just they could at least do something with her. She's popular enough. She has a I keep saying that word, charisma, but she's
fuck you, Daniel Garcia.
You had a point. But yeah, that was Mina, and now it is time for our main event. Can I get a Animo? Animo. Rey Fenix. But I think we both can agree. We both have liked Rey Fenix for many years. One of the greatest high flyers in the 2010s, going to the 2020s. He one of the best tag teams. A lot of stuff we can talk about Penta. We can, just give it right to Phoenix. But Phoenix, he's one of the greatest high flyers of our generation. And somebody that had so many great matches, singles and tag wise, even more than his brother maybe. The Kenny Dynamite match is still amazing to this day. The stuff he was doing at Mox and the Bucks, singles and tag. Yes. It's the Death Triangles trio stuff. Very similar to his brother, who we talked about last month. He had a pretty successful AEW career, but their ceiling was there, and for sure, like, it's kind of crazy. Like, looking back at him, man, when he won a singles title, but like he won it by accident because Moxley got concussed.
Yeah.
And they immediately, like, they gave him like maybe one defense, and they're like, all right, bro, give that shit back. OC's winning it. That was crazy. So, but successful AEW wrestler who is constantly on TV, winning titles, tags, trios, international by accident. He was one away from a Grand Slam. He just had to win the world belt.
And he was going to win. Apparently, him and Penta and Pac were going to win the trio titles again if they didn't leave.
I think an All In London. Yeah.
It's actually kind of crazy how, like, if they stayed, I don't think Pac would have been a Death Rider. No,
which we couldn't have gotten Moxley like touching his tummy the other night. Yeah, what a weird world. What a weird world we would have been living in. But so the news breaks summer of 2024 that Lucha Brothers are wanting out. Penta manages to get his out. His contract was able to lapse before Fenix. Fenix was denied his release. And of course, that just means that Rey Fenix was in prison. He was stuck in, what was it called again? what was the Tony Khan jail? Guantanamo Bay. Guantanamo Bay. Yeah. Guantanamo. Yeah, he was stuck there. He was ruthlessly abused, and nobody wants to be in prison. But eventually, WWE SEAL Team 6, we broke him out. William Regal, Arn Anderson, Brother Love,
Tensai,
Bruce Pritchard, we all, Lord Tens, yeah, Albert, Prince Albert, A-Train, yeah, we all got him out of there. We broke him out of prison. He was released from his AEW contract. They got Rey Fenix. He was released in like February, I believe, of the same time that Starks and Black and Rusev were all released. And Rey Fenix is free. And they put vignettes for him, and he's debuting on SmackDown. And I really don't try to be negative, so I'm like a little optimistic about it. Like, all right, he's gonna be like this generation's like Rey Mysterio, like that high flyer that kids would like tune in on Fridays to watch and be like, this is our, we can't stay up to watch Raw, but this is Friday, it's the weekend, we can watch Rey Fenix do his thing on SmackDown. And so he debuted against Nathan Frazier, which on paper I was super excited to watch. So this match is going to be amazing. They have like a good match. It wasn't like anything spectacular. They have like a fine match. And through, missed opportunity, Rey Mysterio injured by those damn Creed brothers, Oh, Triple H, you hate those Creed brothers. You want to see him AEW. Yeah, but so Rey Mysterio gets injured, I think, like the night before Mania, the SmackDown before Mania, and they need a replacement to face El Grande Americano, the Gable version, and Phoenix is chosen. And I'm like, okay, Phoenix is going to take Mysterio's place. He's going to avenge Lucha Libre, and he's going to defeat
Evil.
He's going to defeat El Grande Americano. Yeah, he's going to defeat Sinister Chad Gable at WrestleMania. Gable beats him. He does some crazy fucking like all Japan like 90s move on him, and man, Gable wins and like an all right match. I'm like, okay, whatever. Phoenix was never supposed to be here. It's Rey's job anyway. Rey Mysterio's job. Whatever. It's fine. Phoenix is fine. He kind of spends most of the spring and summer on TV. On TV, like having good matches, winning some, losing some, but ultimately just getting the fans getting used to him. He sort of does a little detour NXT for a few weeks to challenge for the North American belt and some Fatal 4-Way at Worlds Collide. I don't remember everybody in it. I know Ethan Page won. Ego, but he's pretty much, he was floating around on SmackDown, but at the very least he was on TV, right? It could be worse. And Andrade's like, we gotta save each other's lives. Okay, we're gonna form a tag team. We're gonna have great tag match. We're gonna save the SmackDown tag division, and they have great matches. DIY.
The DIY match, was it? And the one before the Saudi show, Night of Champions,
with Fraxia or DIY.
DIY.
Yeah, that match is sick.
We changed lives, like we were changing Johnny Gargano's life.
Yeah, but they were having good matches on TV. They're put on the SummerSlam card and that 6-man ladder match, a 6-team ladder match. I'm like, yo, Phoenix and Andrade, let's fucking go. They're going, this is my team, whatever. It's weird, Phoenix isn't teaming with his brother. It's a bit strange, but Penta's doing his thing. We're gonna get that Lucha Brothers tag team at one point.
Us and DeathValleyDriver, we love Andrade, we love Rey Fenix,
Oh man,
Viva Mexico.
See, bueno. But yeah, man. So I think, okay, they're gonna win the tag belts eventually. They're gonna beat these Wyatts, gonna win the tag belts. Let's go. Andrade would leave the World Wrestling. he would leave the WWE.
Apparently, he was like contacting Tony Khan.
He was like, "Yo,
like, sorry, man, but I gotta go."
How but Andrade would leave WWE. Phoenix is kind of like left fucking hanging in the wind, but he wasn't completely off TV just because of that. He still was on SmackDown. He had a U.S. title shot against Sami Zayn. That was really good. A really, really good underrated match in that Sami run. But sort of after that, he's pretty much stayed the exact same place. Like it's only gone worse and worse because he's not progressing at all. And we're just seeing more of the losses, and the losses are more frequent. And he's losing to people that he probably shouldn't. And he was doing that in AEW too. To be completely fair, he was losing to people in AEW he probably shouldn't have been losing to in the first place. WWE though, it's still happening. Tama Tonga, which I like Tama, but
wasn't he feuding with them for like a long period with the MFTs or whatever?
He was like on and off feuding with them. They had a few like big multi-man matches. I think he teamed with the Guns against them, or he teamed. I know there's like Dave rated like some random 10-man tag with the MFTs, and it's like Matt Cardona and Rey Fenix, and I think the Guns. I forget, but he gave it like 4, and I almost watched it, but I was like, nah, I'm not gonna do that. But I'm not watching SmackDown in 2026. I can't lie, unless I have to. Yeah, unless that contract comes in from DeathValleyDriver, well, I have to watch it. But, so Phoenix has just been, he lost to Trick. And Trick probably should beat him, even though Phoenix is a much better wrestler. And this Lucha Brothers reunion hasn't come yet. Penta's doing his own thing. He's more successful. He makes us look like fucking idiots. Whatever. Can't win them all. But a multi-man ladder match is set for WrestleMania. Penta is the champion. It's multi-brand match. Rey Fenix does not make WrestleMania, even though they could have made it like an 8-man match. Who fucking cares? But he does not make Mania, and he's just kind of there on SmackDown, and it is very unfortunate that, you know, people, you know, they break out of prison, you know, sometimes life on the other side just isn't what it seems.
It's just like with how TKO is running and Rey Fenix gets released, like what the fuck does he do?
Well,
unless Penta's
I guess
like, yo, don't release my brother, okay?
Yeah, we got pull. Yeah, zero miedo. But I don't know, man. Let's hear what you got to say about Rey Fenix.
I like Rey Fenix. I know you do too. It's just when he went to WWE, I think we both had the same opinions. Like, you could just put him on SmackDown, he can have great matches, like a weekly TV wrestler, kind of like what Speedball's doing.
Yes.
Just put him in, make him face like Sammy, Dragunovs, or fuck it, Montez Ford. Like, why didn't they do that? You know, like just some crazy shit. Like, but they did not do that. And as time is going on, Penta, it's either Penta or Phoenix. Penta's teaming up with these people. I think he teamed up with like Javon. Like, he's teaming up with anybody except his fucking brother.
Yes, yeah, he did team with Javon for a little bit. Yeah, he did. He did against I think the MFTs or what. I do remember that. Yeah, everybody but his brother.
Yes, and Phoenix is just stuck, and it's like, it's unfortunate because, you know, to increase the quality to your product in ring wise, Rey Fenix is there, and he's a really great wrestler, and like, it doesn't help that the tag divisions currently in WWE, like, it's in the gutter.
Oh, it's bad.
Like, you need the Lucha Brothers. Like, I know Penta's like a big act, but like, you need the Lucha Brothers, especially now.
Yeah, now is the time to do it. Now is the time to strike with that. Like, bro, Austin Theory is the tag team champion right now, and R-Truth is as well. It's a sorry state. Not too much. Not too much on Big Dame. Not too much on Big Dame. The real, which, but you know, a quote from Miguel that the only Dame that matters is Damian Priest. That's what you said. That's what you
Damian
said.
Lillard.
I think Damian Lillard matters, but you said that Damian Priest the only Dame that matters.
Okay,
That's what you said.
All in his mind.
Yeah, I'd put Phoenix on cold, maybe even ice cold, man. I don't know, and I hate to do it, and I hate to be negative, and I hope I'm proven wrong again, and Phoenix just like wins the U.S. belt or something, but which isn't gonna happen. But, or, you know, team of his brother or whatever, move to Raw, whatever, do something to prove me wrong. But it's sad when I see all these releases coming on. I think there's a possibility that Phoenix was going to be like a name coming out that day to be released. That shouldn't be a thing I have to worry about, that Phoenix is going to get like canned the same time as all these guys. Like that felt like a real possibility. And thankfully it wasn't, and he'll stick around and win some belts and be on TV more, but I don't know.
When he debuted, he was spamming Animo. He was trying to get it over. And then after the match, he was all like crying. He's like, "This is my dream." It's like, I guess he wasn't a Fed soldier enough. Like, he needed to do the Dragon Lee shit. You gotta have like the WWE like logo on his mask or something.
Yeah, his promo was not nearly as like impactful as the Penta one he had post Chad Gable. The Penta promo after he beat Chad Gable on the Raw on Netflix was, you know, that was crazy. That got him over huge. The Phoenix one, not so much, but funny enough, Penta's debut match is better than Phoenix's, and I think we both can agree, objectively, Phoenix is a better in-ring worker, but, you know, is what it is. And even if Phoenix is still not the same Phoenix as a few years ago, like, you put him against some high flyers, he's just not as good as them. It is what it is. He's still like a great wrestler. Still better than like 75% of the WWE roster, maybe even 80. Like he can still get it done and have great matches, but you know, it's sad. I don't think he got really over with the audience as much. I think they just see him as like, oh, we have this guy over here. You know, why do we need to push Phoenix? You know,
I know how to make him over. Next SmackDown, Axiom versus Rey Fenix. Lock me in, folks. Gonna create some magic.
Hey, I know what get him over. He gotta watch those fucking vines from 10 years ago. Gotta find something.
These nuts.
We can get him over. That could work. That can work. He can do that. He can't do what the dog doing. That's taken. But we can figure something out with Rey Fenix. But yeah, man, it is what it is. That is temperature check of spring. Miguel, don't look at how long we've been recording because you'll be very they'll be very disappointed. You'll be very disappointed. We wanted to make this a quick video, guys. Unfortunately, we like talking about wrestling just a little too much. But hey, man, we're gonna eventually do a short video, or set out to do a short video. Maybe we'll even cut this up into shorter videos. We'll see. But we had a good time talking about, you know, the talent of the last calendar year of spring 2025 to 2026. Obviously, we'll be revisiting some folks in the summer. And yeah, I appreciate you guys listening. Appreciate the support. I'm Steven. This is Miguel. And we'll see you guys next time.